Right. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Baraka Thumb. That's to all the Akim out there. And let me fix my headband, make sure it's nice and straight. And Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bahashim Yahweh Shah to all the Akwathian out there. This is the Lashawan Qadash class. And today I wanted to shift gears a little bit. I know some people are like, well, aren't we going to do songs today? We're actually going to switch gears a little bit and get back to our monthly songs next week. Well, I wanted to get into something important that a couple people were asking me about for a few weeks now. So I've been asked about the prayers. So I wanted to do the prayers, especially we're going to do one prayer at a time. We'll probably only get through one prayer, but we're going to do the Lord's Prayer today and actually break that down in Hebrew. And I know probably some other classes have already done that, but I wanted to do that to get a good idea of what's really being said in the Hebrew. I just wanted to touch up on some things. Shalom. That's Officer Gabar and his rib, Sister Thakaya. I have not forgotten about you, Sister Thakaya and Officer Gabar, about your notes. Please show me mercy. All right. I got to get the notes out from the last class. But welcome. I'm going to shift gears a little bit in this class and just do a little longer breakdown of the Lord's Prayer and some of the prayers. Because some people have been requesting. So I said, well, let's give some of the songs a break. And let's actually break down the Lord's Prayer so that we get a good idea of what is being said in the Lord's Prayer. What's being said in Hebrew. So a lot of times you'll hear stuff in English and it sounds, a certain way, but you'll see that even the effect is even better when it's being said in Hebrew. All right. So we're going to break down the Lord's Prayer today. I'm going to make sure people know that we're on. The Wada, and thanks for people's patience. So let's get into it. Let me see. Just tell them on this system. All right, just telling this one sister she can join. Okay. While we're waiting, go ahead and I'd say for this class, you need maybe about, let's do about 3 sheets of paper. So if you have it right now, I want you to get 3 sheets of paper, okay, while we're waiting. And I actually want you to, on each sheet, you're going to make 3 columns. And I'm actually going to show you how the columns should look. You're going to make 3 columns. Let's see if you can see that. It's disappearing a little bit. On the first column, I'll tell you what to say, okay? It's kind of disappearing a little bit, but I want to make sure people can see it. Okay, you're going to make 3 columns going down, okay? That's what I want you to do. Make 3 columns. I'll put it in the chat too. Okay, let's get 3 sheets of paper and make 3 columns. Okay, make 3 columns going down. Okay, and I'll put this on the screen. Get 3 sheets of paper and make 3 columns. All right. That's what I want you to do while you're waiting. All right. So in the first column going down, I want you to write this word. Okay. So you're getting 3 sheets of paper, making 3 columns going down. Okay. I'm trying to get it close enough so y'all can see it so it doesn't disappear. Like my face is disappearing, of course. All right. But let's see. Okay. I think that's okay. Okay. On the first column, okay, and if you don't understand, we'll clarify. On the first column going down, I want you to write this. I want you to write Hebrew word. So first column, write Hebrew word. I'll post it up. Okay, let me do that better. Hebrew word, label, I'll say label, Hebrew words. We'll say Hebrew words in column 1. Okay, so on the first column, write the word Label Hebrew words in column 1. I'll put that up on the screen. Label Hebrew words in column 1. So you're getting a sheet of paper. You're making 3 columns, okay? And you're going to separate the 3 columns, like we're in a school, okay? Label Hebrew words in column 1, okay? Go ahead and do that now on your 3 sheets of paper. All right? And then label column 2, okay, you're going to label English words in column 2. Okay, just label it English words in column 2. Okay, I'll put that in the chat. English words in column 2. We're making 3 columns. Those who just joined us, we're making 3 columns going down. 1, 2, 3. All right. I'm not saying to make rows just yet. Well, you separate it by a row. Separate the 3 columns by a row, like like one line going across. So it separates each one. Okay. And then in column 3, I want you to do this. Column 3, I want you to label root word. Let's say root Hebrew words in column 3. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the chat. So in column 3, label root Hebrew words. All right, give me a thumbs up if you understood that, or say I understand, or con, just in the chat so I know people understand how we're doing this today. All right, today we're just going to kind of break this down. We're going to break this class down a little bit. We're going to break down the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew and actually see what every word means. So this might be a couple classes, but we do the prayers every week at Sabbath, and it's good to know when we're saying these words in Hebrew what they actually mean. Now, we translate it in English, and sometimes when the stuff is translated, we sometimes don't get the full scope, and that's not knocking translation. Translation actually can be very difficult because you have to get the context. You have to get the context. You got to get the intent. So translation sometimes can be difficult when you're translating from one language to the next, because sometimes a word will exist in one language that doesn't in another, and you're like, okay, what can I say the equivalent? Like I always give the example. When you say thawada in Hebrew, thawada, somebody does something, you say thawada. We always translate that saying, thank you. That doesn't necessarily translate into thank you, but the equivalent that we use is thank you. Thawada really is more synonymous with you will be praised, because tha means you, and then thawada, it kind of comes from the word like, what's the word? Yahawada. Okay, and that's like Judah, but the word praise is in there. So it's kind of like when somebody does something, you're like, oh, thank you. We translate as thank you, but it's really the stronger it's like, oh, you'll be praised. Like, wow, like you'll be thanked or you'll be blessed. Not praised like we praise the Most High, but it's like people will like, it's like a strong appreciation. Okay. But that's what it is. Like, so sometimes stuff is not, equivalent to one language to the next. But what we do is we try to find something. So what we're going to do today is we're going to break down the Lord's Prayer. We're going to always start with the Hebrew word. Then we're going to go into the English of what it's saying. Then we're going to break down the root meaning. Okay, is everybody online with me? All right, let me take this last thing down. Okay, I know the sister is with me. All right, everybody else is with me. Just let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know that I'll slow down. All right, I'm going to say the Lord's Prayer. Okay, I'm going to just say it. You could say it with me. And then we're going to break everything down bit by bit. You need to make 3 columns on all 3 pages. If you're just turning in, I said to get 3 pages out. But we're going to break this prayer down because this is the first prayer that we say every Sabbath that we have. So it's, all right, Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Haya, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwafka, Thaba'ah, Ratazayaka, Haya, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathan Lanawa, Slack it, Lakam, Call, Yowam, Wasalaknawa, Kabawafnawa, Kasalaknawa, Kabawathanawa, Wala'ah, Thabiya'ayanawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Waha'ala, Wahafapa Araf, La'aiwalamyum, Aman. All right? So we've broken down the prayer. Okay, so now we're going to be break everything down. Okay, we're going to break everything down here, and we're going to do it in your chart. So when I refer to chart number 1, I'm talking about the Hebrew chart, the first column. When I say column 1, I'm going to say you're going to put it in your Hebrew column. If I say column number 2, you're going to put it in your English column. Okay. If I say column number 3, you're going to put it in your root Hebrew word column. So listen to the column that I'm saying. So this could be broken down really easily. Okay. Take the notes. Okay. And separate line from line. Okay. You'll separate each line by making it a row. So this will be row, the row 1, row 2 in your columns. Okay, does everybody understand that? Does everybody to wob on that? Okay, you're going to separate each part that I do by a row. Okay, so we'll go to the first row. So you can draw a line after we do the first row that's going across. I'm going to go through every part in the first row. Okay, first row or first line that we're going to talk about is the word Abba Nawa. Okay. So in the Hebrew, column 1, in your first column where it says Hebrew, you're going to write this. You're going to write this, what I put in the chat. Okay, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. Abba Nawa. Okay. Put that in your Hebrew part. All right, Abba Nawa. Go ahead and do that right now. Abba Nawa. Now, okay, everybody pretty much knows what that means, but let's break this down, okay? I like to break this down, but what it's literally saying in the Hebrew, I'm going to say the literal way it's said and then how we translate it, okay? So you'll see me break it down in 2 ways. So I'm going to say the literal meaning. Literally, it's saying Father of us, okay, or Father of us. That's what it's literally translating. Abba means Father, and Nawa means us, our, or we, okay? So literally, this is really saying Father of us. So I'm going to put that here. Actually, I'm going to leave this on the screen. So in chart part 2, where it says English, I want you to write this. Father of us, and you can put a slash, can be translated to our Father. That's how we translate it. But if we're talking about literal, Nawa means, I will get to that, but this is how you can write in the English. Okay? So let me put this up. Father of us, our Father. I'm going to put the literal, and then I'll say how we translate it. Abba Nawa, Father of us. Now, let's break down each word. We're going to break down each word. Now we're in column 3 where it says root word. This is line 1. We're in column 3. Line 1, column 1 was Abba Nawa. Line 1, column 2, under where it says English, you're going to put Father of us, our Father. Now we're in column 3, line 1. Okay, now we're going to break this down and what this means. And I'm going to put it in the chat. So Abba in Hebrew means, of course, I'll put in parentheses, father. We know that. We've learned that in the class. Nawa can mean 3 words. It could mean us, our, or we. Okay, us, our, or we. Okay, now I'm going to put that up. Okay, Abba Nawa, father of us, and the Hebrew root word, these are the Hebrew root words. Father of us means us, our, or we. You could say father of we, father of our, but, literally father of us, we translate it as our father. Okay? In English, we put the adjective first before the noun. Other languages usually always put the noun first. Okay? So that's just the, English, of course, they said it's backwards. All right, is everybody with me so far? So Abba Nawa, our father or father of us. That's line 1. Okay? Let's go to line 2. Is everybody with me? Just give me a con in the chat to make sure that everybody is with me, or a thumbs up. That I know that, nobody's lost, or what is this man talking about? I want to go through this slow because this might be a little serious, but we're going to go through the prayer. Okay, just give me a con in the chat. It's cool. Does anybody need to see the notes again of line 1? Or maybe I'll do that. I'll put the line in there. All right, is everybody still with me? All right, I didn't get any no's, so I'm assuming that's a yes. All right, we're going to the next part of the prayer. Let's go to the next part. Abba Nawa, Shabbat Shemayim. Okay? All right. So after father of us, so we're in line 2, row 1, column 1. We're in column 1, line 2. Okay? All right. So we're in column 1, line 2. So the first column is Hebrew word. The Hebrew after our father, or Abba Nawa, is Shabbat Shemayim. And I'm going to put that in the chat so you see it. I'm going to break it up so you see how we're saying it. Okay, Shabbat Shemayim. Okay, Shabbat Shemayim. All right, let's put that. I'm going to put that up on the screen. Shabbat Shemayim. So under your category, or under where it says Hebrew word, I want you to write Shabbat Shemayim. Go ahead and write that. Okay, we're in row 2, column 1, under the Hebrew word. If you're just joining me, on a blank sheet of paper, make 3 columns. Okay, in column 1, write the word Hebrew word. Column 2, write English meaning or English word. And then column 3, write Hebrew root word. Okay, we're going over the Lord's Prayer and we're breaking everything down. Okay, Shabbat Shemayim is next. Now, let's break down what literally Shabbat Shemayim is literally saying, okay? Which is pretty much the same as the English, but it's saying this, okay? Which art in heavens. I know we translate it as heaven, but really in English, it's saying, now we're in line 2. We're in column 2. Shemayim is heavens. So it's saying our Father, or the Father of us, which are in the heavens, which are in heavens. I'll put the heavens. Okay, so let's put that in there. And I'm going to tell you why it really means heavens. Okay, so the English, which are in the heavens. I know we translate it as which are in heaven. I know why they translate it like that. That's a different story. I understand that because that's kind of saying like the heaven of heavens. Okay. Actually, let me add this. Let me say it like this. Which art, I'll do the literal in heavens, which are in the heavens. And then I'll translate how we say it, which art in heaven. So I'm gonna put another one up on the screen. I'll put the other one in because remember I said I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna do the literal translation and then how we say it. Which art in the heavens, which art in heaven. Okay. And really heaven because it's really signifying where the Most High dwells. So the writer, or when they're translating, they want you to know that this is the heaven. The heaven we're talking about is where the Most High dwells. That's why we translate it, which art in heaven, because heaven can mean sky. Okay, but we know not in the sky. We know there's a dimension that the Most High is in. So that's why we say which are in heaven, that heaven dimension. That's why we translate it as which are in heaven, even though literally it's translated which are in the heavens, plural. Okay. All right, and let's break this down. Okay, we're going to break this down. So we're in column 2, line 2. Okay, which is the English. Now let's break this down. Make sure you're writing this as you're taking your notes. Okay, now let's break this down. Let's go to the Hebrew root word. Okay, Shah in Hebrew means which. Okay, and Shemayim in Hebrew means heavens. That's a plural word. That's actually a plural word. Okay, so now we're going to go to column 3. Okay, column 3 means that's the Hebrew root word. Okay, Shah. Oh, I forgot to put something in there. Salakia. Let me take this down. Let me rewrite that. Salakia. I forgot to put one word. Shah means which. Salakia. Give me 1 second. Okay, Ba means in Hebrew. We learned that too at the beginning. Ba means in, and then Shemayim means heavens, plural. Now I got it. Now I'm about to put it up for you. We're still in column 3. Okay, now I'm going to post it up. Salaki on that. I just wanted to make sure we got everything. Which in heavens? Shaba Shemayim. Okay, Abanawa Shaba Shemayim. Okay, which in heavens. That's the root. Shemayim is a plural Hebrew word. And the reason it's plural is because it has a yum at the end. When you see a yum in Hebrew, that's like adding an S to a word. Okay, so it's Shemayim. Yum makes it plural. And we've learned that when we're learning about our days and we're learning about our months. Okay, Kadashyam, months. Yum, days. Shemayim, heavens. Okay? Ba in Hebrew means like in. You'll see ba a lot. Means in. So ba can mean in, for, with, not for, but it could be in, with. It just depends on the context. Ba can have a lot of meanings. When I'm at for, that's a la, but ba can mean in, on, with. Okay? In, on, or with. That's ba. In this context, we're using that. Okay? All right. Okay, everybody with me? All right. Everybody with me? Just put a con in the chat. Let me know that you're with me. Okay? All right. All right. Here we go. All right. Now, Qadash. Let's go to the next one. Now we're back into the next one. Qadash. Okay? So we got Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash. Okay? I'm going to put this in the chat. Actually, let me ask a question. Everybody, people should know this. What does Qadash mean? People should know this one. What does Qadash mean in Hebrew? I know somebody in this chat knows. What does Qadash mean? Anybody know? You can put it in the chat. I'll give you like 30 seconds. What's Qadash mean? I'll give you a few seconds to put that in there. Good. Somebody put it in there. Okay. All right. Excellent. I think that's Sister Latoria put that in there. Qadash means holy. Excellent. So, Qadash. Okay. Qadash. That's the next. So we're on the next line. We're in row 3. Line 3 now, column 1. Qadash. Okay. Qadash. All right. And this is pretty easy. There's really not, from what I know of. And remember, I don't know everything. So from what I know of, there's no really root word. It could be, but there's no root word from what I know. So we'll just keep it going. Qadash in the English. So we'll go to the English part. Just put holy. Okay. So Qadash means holy. Okay. I'll put that up on the screen. So in the English part, put holy. So our Father, which art in heaven, holy. Pretty much it's holy. It's going to be, holy is, holy or separate is his name. He's a separate because this talks about how he was a separate God. He was a separate power. So, and that's why he always told Israel that they had to separate from the nations because he did not, want to be treated like the other gods. So it's separate is his name. And Yahweh Shah is even saying this about his Father, that he's a separate power. Okay. All right, let's keep it going. We're doing well here. Okay. Separate. Okay. So separate. And then the next one is Hayah. Abanah, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah. All right. Hayah. Put that in the Hebrew part. Hayah. Okay. So now we're on the fourth line. Okay. Hayah. I'll put it on the screen. Hayah. We're back in the Hebrew word where it says Hayah. Okay. All right. Go ahead and put that in there. All right. We got Hayah in there. All right. And then, of course, Hayah in the English just means be or to be, okay, or to become. All right. Hayah. And there's a lot of stuff in there. I'll put this on the screen. This is the English part. All right, put this on the part where he says English. All right. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. And for some of these, I'm not going into the root word. Okay, some of these I will do the root word breakdown. Okay, let's go to the next line. Okay, Shamka. All right, we're back to the Hebrew part. All right, Shamka. We'll put that in there. Put this under the Hebrew part, Shamka. All right, let's ask a question. I know there's some experts in the chat. What does Shamka mean? All right, somebody break down Shamka. Put it in your Hebrew word, but let's break down Shamka. Somebody put it in the chat. What does Shamka mean? All right, I see some people in there writing it in the paleo. Excellent job. All right, what does Shamka mean? All right, write it in the chat. Put it in the English so everybody can see it. What does Shamka mean? Excellent. All right, I see some people put it. Okay. Shamka. Well, okay. I got some people that got some of it. Okay. Let's break this down into English. Okay. All right. Shamka. Let me go up here. Of course, that means your name. I like it to translate. Let's translate that literally. I like to call it name Okay. I like to write it as name of you, literally, and then we'll put it as your name, and I'll explain why. Okay. Okay. Name of you. Because sham really means name. Ka means you or your. Okay. Remember I said in the Hebrew, okay, in most languages, they'll put the noun first and then they'll say what's describing the noun after it, like the adjective afterwards. In English, we always do everything backwards. We put what is describing the noun first. So we translate as your name. Okay, but sham means name, ka means you. So it can really be translated as name of you, which we translate as as we translate as your name. But it can be literally translated as separate is the name of you. Or we say separate is your name, or holy is your name. All right. So let's break this down. Let's go to the part where it says Hebrew word. Let's go to the part where it says the root word. Okay, we're going to go to that part. Okay, let's go to that part and let's put this. Sham in Hebrew, which everybody said is name. Okay, ka, remember, ka is describing, it's like a possessive, you or your. That's a possessive. Okay, put this in the third column where it says root word. All right, I'm gonna put this up on the screen. Sham means name, ka means you or your, and that's the possessive. All right. All right. Let's keep it going. I think everybody, we're going to move a little fast because I think a lot of people are gotten it. Does anybody still need to see this up on the screen? Has everybody got this? Put this in your notes because we're going to have a pop quiz. Going to have a pop quiz in a little bit. We'll see if people are paying attention. All right. Make sure you're taking notes because in about 5 minutes, after I get through this page, we're going to have a pop quiz just to see if people are paying attention. All right. Everybody got it? All right. Let's keep them going. We're going to move a little faster. Okay. All right. Next. So we have Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh. Okay. Put in the chat what Yahweh is. What does Yahweh mean? Or what is Yahweh? Go ahead and put that in the chat. All right. Someone in the chat what it means. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh. And what it means. Or what does it stand for? Let me say it like that. What does it stand for? All right, let me get some participation in that chat. Let me call people's names. Okay, put Yahweh on your first column, and then tell me what Yahweh stands for. Anybody know? I mean, this is the easiest one. It's the easiest question I've asked all night. All right. Give me about 30 more seconds. All right. Okay. Yahweh, of course. I see a couple people answered. Yahweh is the Most High's name. I mean, that's pretty simple. It's the Most High's name. Okay. Yahweh is the Most High's name. And it comes from the word Hayah and Yahweh there. So Yahya is like to exist or to be, and Yah is like he's like, it's like self-existence. He will become. That's why I remember it said, I will become what I'll become. And then Yahweh is like he will become. Okay. He will become, or he's self-existence. Okay? So Yahweh is like it's like almost a derivative. You got the word Hayah. Okay, that's the Most High's name. Excellent. I see a couple people answer. That's his name. Describes who he is. Okay, self-existent. All right. So let's put that in the English. Actually, I'll put it right here on the screen. What Princess Takaya wrote. Okay, it's the Most High. So put Most High's name. Put that under the English part. Yahweh. Okay, that's 101 for UPK. You gotta know the name. That's how you greet each other. You greet each other. You say the Most High's name. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Okay, so that's pretty basic. All right, make sure you know that. All right, we're coming down to the wire before our first pop quiz. We want to see who's taking notes. Got about 3-4 more lines. All right, we're gonna go through these a little faster. If I'm going too fast, just let me know, and I'll slow it down. All right, here we go. Here we go. Next one in the Hebrew section, I want you to write this. Put Malak, Wath, Ka. I broke that, okay? Malak, Wath, Ka. I broke this down. Go ahead and put that under your Hebrew word. Malak, Wath, Ka. Right? Malak, Wath, Ka. We should already know what Ka means. We already said that. Okay, we already said that. So Malak, Wath. What does Malak, Wath mean? We know that Ka means you or yours. So what does Malak, Wath mean? Someone want to tell me. Malak, Wath. Anybody know? Give about 30 seconds. Malak, Wath. We know Ka means you or your. So what does Malak, Wath mean? We're just breaking down the Lord's Prayer. All right. I don't think I see any answers. I know some people are going to come in late. All right. So Malak, Wath means kingdom. But there's a reason. This is a plural word. Anytime you see the word Wath or Yum in Hebrew, a lot of times it's plural. So Malak, Wath can be translated king, kingdom, or kings. Okay? Because that's a plural word. But why would it be kingdom in this aspect, in this context? Okay? Let me okay, so let's do the literal translation. Malak, Wath means kingdom. Let me put, oh, sorry, I was supposed to put that in the chat. Malak, Wath. Kingdom. It's a plural word. Now, why would it be kingdom instead of kings here? Because you got to think anciently, kingdom, when you had a kingdom, you were ruling over kings. That means when you had a kingdom, okay, when you had a kingdom anciently, that means you were ruling over other kings. That means you took other kings, you're ruling over their territories as well. Okay, that's why Yahweh Shah is going to be known as what? King of Kings. Okay, he's going to be the King of Kings because he's going to be ruling over kings. When you had a kingdom, remember, you got to think anciently when they were saying this. When you had a kingdom, that means a kingdom was a vast territory. So many times you get a kingdom, you went to war with other kings and you took their territory and now they were subject or they had to pay homage to you. Okay? So you got to think when Yahweh Shah's kingdom comes, it's going to be a vast kingdom. Okay? So that's why Malak, Wath can mean kingdom. You know, it's a plural word. Okay? So in the English, in your English part, you could just put the word kingdom. Malak, Wath. Kingdom. All right? So that's in your English part. All right, let's look at the root word. Let's go to the root word. All right, let's look at some root words here. Well, if Malak Wath can be kingdom or kings, then a root word for Malak Wath is Malak, which means king. Malak means king. Okay, Malak, okay, and then Malak Wath, like I said, is kingdom, or it can be kings, but in this context, we'll put kingdom. And then we know ka, we already said what ka means. Ka is you or your. All right, we'll put that, and put this in your last column. I'll put it up on the screen. Okay, so we have Malak means king, Malak Wath, kingdom, ka, you or your. Okay, so we have that all in there. So we have Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wath Ka. Okay, so Malak Wath Ka. Okay, actually, let's go back into your English part. I didn't say this right. Okay, I did say it right, but let's go back to your English part. So Malak Wath Ka really means, okay, kingdom of you, or we translate it as your kingdom. Okay, we translate it as your kingdom, kingdom of you or your kingdom. Put that in the English part. Malak Wath Ka, put that in the English section in the middle column. Malak Wath Ka, kingdom of you or your kingdom. Because Malak Wath means literally king or kingdom, kingdom or kings. And then Ka means you. So kingdom of you or your kingdom. That's how it'll be translated. Right? Okay. Everybody have that? Is everybody with me still? Okay, we're about to move on. All right, let's go to the next one. All right. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. All right, we're now back in the Hebrew word. The next word is thaba'ah. I'll break this down so people can thaba'ah. Okay, so after Malak Wath Ka, we have thaba'ah. Okay, thaba'ah. All right, now thaba'ah. All right, due to time's sake, we'll just say it. Thaba'ah in English, okay, it really just means you come or you come. Your kingdom, it's really kind of like your kingdom, you come. That's really what it's kind of translated as. Thaba'ah. A lot of times when you see that word tha, your kingdom, you come, or the kingdom of you, you come. We just translate it as come. Okay? So let's go to the English part. Let's go to the English part. You come, or we just translate it as come. All right? Your kingdom, you come. Thaba'ah. That's what it's really kind of saying. Your kingdom, you come. Oh, let me put it on the screen, Slakia. Put that in the English part of your all right, got a couple minutes to a pop quiz. I'm trying to wait till your kingdom you come. All right, let's keep it going. So Abinah, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, Thaba'ah. Okay, now we're at the next part. Go back to your Hebrew. We're at Ratazayaka. Let's put this down in your notes. I'm going to break this word down. Ratazayaka. Now you should start to know what these words mean, or at least you should know what some of them. It has a ka at the end. Can somebody at least tell me what the ka at the end means? Put that in the chat. That's the next word, Ratazayaka. Can somebody tell me in the chat at least what the ka at the end means? We should now know at least what the ka means at the end. We're going to see a lot of kas in this prayer. Somebody put that in the chat, or everybody put that in the chat. Ratazayaka. What does the ka at the end mean? Everybody put it in the chat. Right? Nobody wants to take a stab at it? At least tell me what the ka means. Okay? With the Zayaka. Oh, I didn't put the word up. That was my fault. People are like, all right, did I put Retazayaka, Salakia? I didn't even put that in there. But I see Amma Shalom God, it means you. Retazayaka. I thought I put it up, Salakia. I said it there, didn't put it up. Okay, put that down. Retazayaka. Okay, so now you see the ka at the end. Right? And I see Amma Shalom got it correctly. Ka means you or your. Okay? So in English, okay, but the Zayaka really is saying will of you. That's what it's really saying. Translate, but we say your, we translate as your will. Let's put this in the English part. Okay? Will of you. We translate it as your will. Let's put that in the English part. We got 3 more, and then we're going to take a quiz. Okay? Now let's break the word down. Ratazah. Ratazah means just will. That's pretty simple. We talk about the root word. Go to the root word of your column, the third column over, and put these and write this down. I'm gonna put this on the screen. You or your. Let's put this on the screen. Let's put this on the screen. Ratazah means will. Ka means you or your. Ratazayaka. So will of you, or we translate it your will. So Abinah, Shabbat Shemayim, Qadash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak Wafka, Thaba'ah, Ratazayaka. Okay? You should be getting all this. We've got 3 more, and then we're taking our quiz. All right? All right, we've done this next word after Razayaka. It's the next word. This is a word we've already seen before. Okay? What does this word? The next word is Hayah. That's a Hayah. It's back again. Okay? Give me in the chat what does Hayah mean in the English. What does it mean? We're back at Hayah again. Should look, if you're taking notes, you got it. You got this real. You know you got it. If you're not taking notes, you'll be like, wait a minute, what does that mean? Well, some people already know what it means. They don't need the notes. Okay, what does that mean? Put in the chat right now. What does Hayah mean? Okay, good. Good. I see Shalom put in there. Means to be or become. Okay? So Haya means, I'll just put this here. Haya, once again, it's like to be or become. Okay? So you could put be in your chat. In your English part. All right? I'm just going to put this again, even though we've already written it. Haya, be, become. Okay? Retazayika, haya. Next word we have in the Hebrew is Aisha. Aisha. Okay? Anybody want to take a guess at what Aisha means? Let's take a stab at what does Aisha mean? We got about a couple minutes. So we got one more after this, and then we're on our to our coon. All right, Aisha. Think of some. All right, Aisha. Okay, means done or made. Okay, so in the English, it's really saying, done or made. So, okay, done. So go into the English part of your column, and Aisha means done or made. Usually, most of the time, it's going to be done, but sometimes it can be made. So it's like your will be done or be made. Done or made. That's what it means. Your kingdom come, your will be done, or your will be made. That's what Aisha means. Your kingdom, the kingdom of you come, the will of you come, okay? Okay? Or the will of you be made. The will of you be done. The will of you be made. Okay? That's what Aisha means. Most of the times it means done, but like a context. In this context, done or made can both fit. All right? Okay. Last one we're going to do tonight. Okay, last one. Go back to the Hebrew. Ba. I want you to write this. Ba'arataza. I'm going to break this word up because this could be a long word. Ba'arataza. Okay? Ba'arataza. Ba'arataza. Okay, due to time. Ba'arataza. Okay, now. Okay. This could be translated two ways. And I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain why. So, okay, ba'arataza. Everybody have that. Ba'arataza. Okay? Ba'arataza. Now, go to your English part. Ba'arataza can mean two ways. This can be translated. Either or is fine. I'm going to tell you why I like the first translation better. I'm going to tell you why. All right? Ba'arataza can mean in the land or in the earth. I'm going to tell you why I like. Now, I know when we say it, we're saying on earth or in the earth. Okay? However, I'm going to tell you why I say that in the land is a better translation. Because you got to think in the mind of a Hebrew, in the time that this is being said, what was the promise? The promise was what? Somebody tell me, put me in the chat. When I'm saying in the land, what land am I thinking about? If I'm a Hebrew and I'm hearing Yahweh Shah say this prayer, what am I thinking? You got to put it in the historical context that it's in. What would If Yahweh Shai is saying this prayer, and he's saying, your will be done in the land as it is in heaven, what would I be thinking as a Hebrew? Somebody put that in the chat. Let's say this prayer is being said live, okay? I'm not saying in the earth is wrong. There we go. Somebody put in the chat. All right, I'm going to put what Amos Shalom put on there. Give the land of Israel. I'm thinking of the land of Canaan. Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, your will be done, because you got to think at this time when Yahweh Shah is making this prayer, who's ruling over them? It's the Romans. They're ruling over them in a land of Canaan. So he's saying this is why Yahweh Shah was a revolutionary. He's making this prayer aloud. Your will be done in the land. In this land that's being occupied by the Romans. In the land of Israel, or the land of Canaan, which was promised to Abraham. That's why I would say in the land is a better way to look at it. Not saying on earth or in the earth is a wrong translation. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying you got to think when this is being said, you're out here, you're hearing Yahweh Shah, okay? All right, I see you good. Okay, you're thinking this way because you remember, you're looking forward to the Messiah to come what? To take the Romans out. You got to think what's in the mind of a Hebrew at this time. Take the Romans out and you to gain the land that was promised to Abraham. So when you're hearing this prayer, you're like, yeah, that's right. Your will be done in this land of Canaan, including Jerusalem. I see Thakaya put that. Excellent. This land, your kingdom come, your will be done in this land as it is in heaven. That's why I like the translation more. Your will be done in the land. Okay? That's why I put that there. On earth or in the earth is fine. I'm just saying you got to think when they're hearing this live, you're like, yeah, your will be done. I want these Romans out of here. I want these Romans, I want these people that are occupying, I want them out of here. Okay? All right, so now let's break this down. So let's look at the go to the Hebrew root word. Ba means, of course, in. Okay, arataza. Okay, arataza can mean land or earth. I prefer the word land in the translation, though. Okay, but I'm gonna give you both so you understand it. Ba arataza. Ba means in, arataza, land, earth. Your will be done in this land as it is in heaven. Okay, now we're going to stop right there and we're going to do a pop quiz. Couple minutes, I might do like 7 words. I'm going to put it in the chat and let's see who answers. Let's see who's the winner here too. I'm going to put names down. Who shows up first? All right. Puts the answer in first. Wait till I put it up on the screen. All right. All right, but actually before we do that, let's say that prayer where we stopped at. Let's translate all that again. Let's break this down slowly. Okay, let's do that first. Abba Nawa, Father of us, or our Father, Shabbat Shemayim, which are in the heavens, or which are in heaven. Heaven singular because that's the dimension we don't see. Literal, which are in the heavens. Qadash, holy and separate. Haya, be. Okay? Shamka, the name of you or your name. Yahweh, the Most High's name. Okay? The self-existent one. He's self-existent. Okay? Malak Wafka. Okay? Kingdom of you or your kingdom. Okay? Thaba'ah, you come or come. Your kingdom, you come. Okay? Retazayaka. Okay? The will of you or your will. Okay? Haya, be done. I mean, Haya, be. Aisha, done or made. All right? Ba'aratasa, in the land, or some people translate on the earth. All right. You said it all. All right, let's get these seven questions. See who's good. Let's see who's the winner tonight. Okay. Excellent work, too. Good participation. All right, I'm going to put it in the chat. What does the word mean? Okay. First word. Tell me what this word means in English. Wait till it goes up on the screen and I see the first answer. All right. What does this word mean in English? I put it on the chat and it should be on the screen now. Malakwas. What does that word mean? See who's the first one to answer. Put it in the chat. We're going to take some points. Let's see who's the reigning champion. Now, remember, it's whoever gets on my part first. You know, you can't blame the internet and speed. It's whoever I see first. Malakwas. What does that mean in English? Somebody translate. All right. I don't see nothing. Somebody probably sent it. The internet was slow in my place. I don't see anything yet. It's whoever I see first in the comments. Anybody know? What is Malakwas? Right. All right, we'll get let's make this a top. All right, I got one. Amma Shalom said kingdom. All right. Excellent. Amma Shalom has got 1 point. All right, we'll do 5. Let's do 5 questions due to time's sake. Amma Shalom, 1 point. All right. Here we go. Next question. What does the word mean? Translate the word. All right. What does this word mean? All right. What does this word mean? I'll put it on the screen now. Arataza. Arataza. Put it on the screen. I know there's more than people than Amma Shalom online. Just put it in there. Arataza. All right. The Kaya got it. All right. All right. Excellent. Means kingdom. Good work. All right. Let's go to the next word. All right. Next word. Let's see. We tied up. One for Amma Shalom, one for Takaya. All right. All right. Next word. What does this mean? Or what does the phrase mean? What does this phrase mean? 3 more questions and it should be up now. What does this phrase mean? Abanawa. What does that mean? First person I see. Abanawa. How does it translate? Translate it. What does it mean? Who's going to get the next point? Okay. Amma Shalom came in and got it. All right. Amma Shalom got it right by a hair. All right. It means father of us, or it can be translated our father. Excellent. All right. 2 more questions. Here we go. 2 more. Let's see who's going to take the win tonight. Okay, what does this mean? How is this translated? All right. I'll put it up on the screen now. Shemayim. How is that translated? I want the literal translation too. Shemayim. I ain't going to take a half translation. What does that literally mean in the Hebrew? All right. Who's going to get on here first? We only got 1 more after this. What does Shemayim mean? Ooh, Amma Shalom. I'm not going to take that one. You're close. I can't take that one either. I got heaven, and then I got which art's in heaven. I just want Shemayim. Shemayim. What does that word? I only want the word. Ooh. Right. Give some people some more time. What does it literally mean? Somebody tell me. I'm Shalom. I can't take that one either. Ooh. We're close. Look at the ending of the word. That should tell you what type of word it is. It ends with a yum. Shemayim, it should give you the clue. It ends with a yum. We went over that in class. It ends with a yum. Okay, all right. Amos Shalom finally pulled it through on that one. Heavens. Okay, heavens. That's heavens. Okay, remember heavens. All right, excellent. Okay, last question. Last question for the night. Okay, we got, all right. Last question of the night. All right, we're ready for this one. It should be from your notes. What does this word mean in the Hebrew? It should be in your notes if you were taking notes. Pretty simple one, too. Malak. What does that mean? Malak. What does that mean? Malak. What does malak mean? Somebody tell me. Malak. Oh, good try. I see GOGGGHHH586. Good try. All right, I'm a shalom. It's a all right. It means the word king. All right, I'm a shalom. Took that tonight. Excellent work, I'm a shalom. All right, excellent work, everybody. Takaya, I'm a shalom. I see some people. I got the 586. Excellent work. Y'all did excellent tonight. Sister Latoya, y'all did excellent. All right. As said before, we're going to still break this down for the next couple weeks. The prayer that Yahweh Shah made. Just make sure you study your notes. And we're going to go over the notes next time. And we're going to continue until we get to the end of this prayer. Just as a security announcement, we're the ISBK coming out of 125th Street, Harlem, New York. 1 West Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. If a brother or sister is new to the school, they're off limits for 6 months. After 6 months, if they're interested in talking to a brother or sister, they must get permission from the head captain or priest. And then they will need to court for another 6 months. And then they will be given permission whether they are be able to marry or not. Also, we have the tithes, which is in Hebrew means ma'ashra. It's 10% of the increase, or you can do the free will offering for the priest. There's no definite number on that, the free will offering. That the next feast day is Purim, which is March the 2nd and 3rd, I believe. It's on a Monday and Tuesday. Actually, let me just check real quick so I can be correct. That's March 2026, folks. Okay, just in case you're like, which day? Yes, March 2nd and March 3rd is the next feast. The Feast of Purim is 2 days, which means casting lots. And then, the Passover this coming up season 2026 is April 4th. The water, sis. The water for that. All right. If any new brother in the school likes to do more, he needs to dress up in all black boots, shirts, pants, scarf. If you'd like to do more to serve in the school. And with that, we're the ISBK. When we courtesy salute to right to the Akim, Amidim Shabbat, Amidim Barak, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Baraka Thumb, Yagi Matah. When we salute the sisters, Amidim Shabbat, Amidim Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatham Bashim Yahushua, Yagi Matah. Class dismissed.